Things with Otar aren't going so well, Jensen.
Sorry about your place, Kohler. Are you alright?
Physically, yes. Emotionally, I just kinda... You know, I actually had some real good books up there. The bookstore was kind of a front, sure, but it was my front. The version of me I presented to the world. That means something.
It means whatever deal you thought you had with the Diwalis is apparently off.
My deal. Right.
There's something you're not telling me about why Otar's got it in for you.
Maybe he is just angry, you know? He takes it out on me because I'm prettier than he is. Or maybe he just really doesn't like books. It's possible, right? Look, let's just optimize that rig of yours, huh? You got the neuroplasticity calibrator for me or what?
I know you may not want to talk about what happened to your store.
I get where you're coming from, okay? But try to understand, Jensen. I'm a guy who likes to respect privacy. Especially if the other person is someone who can kill me. Which is real good for you, actually. It goes both ways.
You're willing to ignore what happened?
I am trying to protect myself. Maybe next time they don't just burn the store, huh?
I rely on you, Kohler. And I'm willing to help if I can. I don't want to have to identify your remains next time I come in for a tune-up.
Neither of us want that. But sometimes, it's better to sweep the ashes under the rug. Now come on! Let's optimize that rig of yours.
You can't hide forever. What are you gonna do when Otar comes back?
What do you expect from me? I am tangled up with these people now. This is what I get for saying yes to Radic. But what choice did I have? What choice do I have now?
Your choice is to tell me what the hell is going on. What does Otar want from you?
He wants to know what I know about Radic. That Radic needs me. The way you need me, Jensen. You understand?
Radic is augmented.
The head of the Diwali, man. If Otar finds this out, if any of the Diwali finds this out, they are not very open-minded about these things.
Yeah, I get it, Kohler. So what are you gonna do?
When augmented people ask for help, I help them. I continue to help Radic.
This procedure. There won't be any surprises like last time.
Last time I was surprised by your crazy tech. But now is totally different. Now I know what's under that hood of yours. And you got me the tool I need. Changes everything.
So what are you gonna do exactly?
I'm gonna optimize your system. No more worrying about overheating. No more worrying about glitches. Jensen 2.0. Sounds pretty good, right?
Alright. Please, tell me this is what a neuroplasticity calibrator looks like.
That's the one! Okay, this won't take long, I promise. And don't worry, man, I never screw up 2 in a row. Spent a lot of time prepping for this one.
Just try not to take anything.
That wasn't so bad, right? How do you feel?
I feel fine. I feel lighter.
I fixed you. Death to all your limits. Whatever implant you want to activate, you activate. 0 consequences.
That sounds pretty good. Thanks, Kohler. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Just get out there and make me proud. Go make use of all that cool shit.
Adam, it's Arya. I just heard what happened. God, right outside your apartment?
What happened outside my apartment?
Someone got all their implants torn out. Was left to bleed to death in the alley. When I first heard where it was, I thought,
I'm fine, Aria. It wasn't me.
be careful going home. It's not the first one of these I've heard about.
I recognize you. We're neighbors. I've seen you in our building. You're very difficult to miss. By chance, did someone send you to investigate?
No, no one sent me. What happened here?
It's horrible. An augmented woman was killed, just outside of where we live. She looks like she was my age.
Do you have any idea who she was?
No, I've never seen her before. It's so sad that nothing will be done about this. Org victims are not high on the list of police priorities. To them, it's like a dog lying in the street. You're not a cop, are you?
I work with someone else, another agency.
That's perfect. You outrank the police?
Depends who you ask.
The detective here, he's not willing. I got the feeling he doesn't care.
What about you? What's your interest in all this? Morbid curiosity?
God, no. I want nothing more than to go home. Detective Montag, he's making me stay. He thinks I saw something.
Did you see something?
Maybe. I think I would rather not say, to be honest. Because if I had seen something, and if I started talking about it, wouldn't that put me in danger?
It's natural to be scared.
Then you understand. I don't want to get involved if I don't have to.
Sure, I understand. You don't know anyone here. But there's a chance this could happen again. The more you're willing to cooperate with the police, the better the odds of catching whoever's responsible.
I know. It's just that I don't trust the police. I would feel safer with someone like you. You have more reason to be invested in this than they do. You're augmented, like the victim was. And you look like you could actually protect me.
It's not my case.
But maybe you could help. Please, neighbor. Talk to Detective Montag. At least see how it's going. Make sure he doesn't think he's on vacation just because the victim is an orc.
I'll talk to the officer in charge and see where he is with the investigation. If I can help him, I will.
Thank you. Suppose I end up remembering something later. Is there a way for me to contact you?
You planning to run off on me already?
The first chance I get. There are times for standing in the cold, but this isn't one of them. I just want to go home, bolt the door, and never come out again. Of course, I will wait for Detective Montag to say it's okay first. And I'll still try to answer whatever questions you may have.
I can give you access to my info link. You should feel free to use it if you have to.
Thank you, neighbor.
So, Daria was actually talking to you, huh? I could barely get 2 words out of her. What did she say? Did she see anything?
You mean your witness over there? She's not sure yet.
How can she not be sure? Either she saw something or she didn't.
She's scared. She thinks she might be in danger. I told her she'll be fine and that whoever did this would be caught. I'd like to believe that's true.
Sure, so would I. But as you can see, the victim was like you, augmented. That makes things a little more complicated, eh? Being a cop in this city, it's not always about doing the right thing, or about doing things the right way.
There's no reason this should be complicated. Someone gets killed, you need to find the killer. Whether the victim was an aug or not has nothing to do with it.
No favorites before the law, eh? Okay. But what if the law itself is prejudiced, eh? As an officer of the law, wouldn't it be my duty to uphold that prejudice?
No, it wouldn't. It's your job to uphold the ideal, to know the difference between right and wrong, and to act accordingly.
You're obviously not a cop, are you?
I used to be, for 12 years. I work for Interpol now.
Interpol, huh? Listen, off the record, I've been told to forego any unnecessary investigation. I want you to know, it's not my idea of how things should be done.
Who told you to forego the investigation?
Men who spend more time making policies than arrests. They want the victim's husband, Johnny Gunn, ex-PMC operative. Heavily augmented.
All right. So if you're not comfortable with this, if you know things aren't being handled the way they should, why not do something about it?
I thought I just did. Just because my hands are tied doesn't mean Interpol can't conduct a parallel investigation. Crime scene's right over there, and Johnny lives just a couple of blocks from here.
I never said I was gonna work your case for you.
Sure you did. Isn't that more or less the promise you made your little friend over there? She won't talk to a cop because she doesn't trust us. Smart girl. Look, my orders are to arrest the husband. You take a look around. Get to Johnny before my guys do. Who knows? Maybe we'll actually learn something.
I'll let you know what I find. I have some questions for you.
I will cooperate. You have promised to help, and so I will try to help as well.
What were you doing here?
I was looking for Starlight, my cat. There was lightning and suddenly this flash of certainty. That's when I knew something awful was happening.
Where were you exactly?
In the shadows. My head was down. I couldn't move. Oh God, stupid Daria. I shouldn't have gone out today. The energies were all wrong.
How did the attack happen? What was the killer doing?
He was on top of her, gutting the evil out. That's what he called it. I mean, I think.
So you heard his voice?
Very clearly, yes. He sounded confident, authoritarian, like a general commanding troops.
What did he say exactly?
It is time to make you whole again.
Why is it you don't trust the police to take care of this case?
I have bad memories of the police.
What kind of memories?
Get calls I didn't want. Tickets I didn't deserve. The policemen here are worse than children. Former captains of high school sports teams who will never recapture their years of glory.
I was captain of the debate team in high school.
Yes, well, debate is different.
What's your take on Montag? You ever meet him before tonight?
I went to the station once, years ago, to complain about the ticket. Detective Montag is the one they send you to handle the paperwork.
How'd he do?
He did fine. The point is, he's a desk jockey. Look at him, he's lost out here. The cops who know how to catch killers, they're not the ones sent to investigate murdered ox.
Is there anything else I should know about you?
You want to know about Daria? What is there to tell? Small town girl came to the big city to escape her problems, to try and become someone else.
Did it work?
Not really. You can't escape yourself. You can't just come to a big city and expect all your problems to seem smaller. It doesn't work that way.
Can you remember anything about what the killer looks like?
To be honest, I saw more of the shadow than the man. I remember he was very big. The shadow, it covered everything.
So you can't describe him?
Not the face, no. His clothes, he was wearing something very dark. Black, maybe blue.
Was he augmented?
He moved like an augmented man, but I can't say for sure.
I'm gonna do what I can to help the investigation.
Good luck.
It was just a matter of time before they got her.
Before who got her?
She's that journalist. The one writing all those things about you know who.
You'll have to fill me in.
Radko Maximilian Perry? The local anti-AUG politician? That's Angela Gunn lying there. She's the one that's been writing about him. There was a threat of a scandal and everything. Coincidence?
Sounds like someone should go after this guy, ask him some questions.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Just, if you do that, please don't mention me. I don't want to end up like her.
What else can you tell me about Radko?
The guy's a sleazy piece of shit. That's all there is to it.
And you think he's capable of murder?
Absolutely.
Did you actually see anything?
I just got here, so I see what you see. A dead, augmented journalist.
Thanks.
Enjoying yourself, detective.
I want to help you with this case. To do that, I need a rundown of what you know already.
Help me, huh? You mean, like being my subordinate?
I mean like making sure we catch whoever's responsible.
Right. Well, I have a dead body, Angela Gunn. I have bureaucratic pressure to arrest the augmented husband, Johnny Gunn. I have a crime scene, and I have you.
Alright, I have some questions about the murder.
Before we go any further with this, I need you to know something about Johnny Gunn. He's not a good man. I may not like how my bosses are targeting him, but that doesn't mean he's innocent. So, you know, just make sure you're here for the right reasons.
Why else would I be here?
I don't want this to turn into some kind of crusade. Bad men do bad things. In a perfect world, we arrest them for the right reasons, but, well, the world's not always perfect.
People hold a hell of a grudge against Augs, ever since the incident.
Yes, and?
Well, good thing the cops here are such professionals. Part of being a police officer is treating everyone the same, right? Aug or no Aug.
It's not that simple, and you know it. A police force isn't some abstract ideal of what justice and law should be. It's an instrument of those in power. A reflection of the society it protects.
I haven't been seeing a whole lot of protection out there.
Well, that depends who you ask.
How long have you been a cop?
Too long. And of all the ways to go out, eh?
What do you mean?
I mean being assigned a case like this. It's HQ's little joke before sending me off to retirement. Oh, but don't worry about me, eh? I'm a survivor. I can make it through this.
This case is a joke to you?
I didn't say that. I said it's a joke to HQ. They know I haven't left my desk in years. But that doesn't mean I'm not qualified. Just a little rusty.
You'll only arrest the victim's husband if the evidence tells you to, right? It's not enough that he's an Aug, and that your bosses want him to go down.
I'll hold my guys off for as long as I can. But unless you can prove someone else killed Angela, or at the very least that Johnny didn't, I don't have much choice. That's why I'm trusting you to talk to him. Give me your honest opinion on what happened here.
Yeah. Why are you trusting me exactly?
Because you gave me the impression of being qualified. Because I'm big enough to admit that maybe I can use the help, and between you and me, because the thought of confronting a man like Johnny Gunn scares the shit out of me.
I'm here because I don't like the idea of someone killing people right outside my window. Maybe he's out there right now, targeting that poor witness. Or maybe he's just looking for any chance to do it again.
Fair enough, Mr. Interpol.
Do you know if the victim had any enemies?
I know she and Johnny didn't get along. Other than that, I really couldn't tell you.
Tell me about the victim's husband, Johnny.
He used to work for a private military company, Bell Tower. He's been arrested for all sorts of things in the past. Now don't get me wrong, I believe in evidence. But I also believe in playing the odds. 9 times out of 10, the husband did it.
Why are your superiors so eager to pin Johnny for murder? It's gotta be more than just not liking the guy.
Standard policy for guys like Johnny. The way they see it, you send a man like him into Golem City, and he's liable to go off the grid, end up with Ark or God knows who. He becomes 10 times more trouble than he's worth. But if they can charge him with something big, something like murder, well, suddenly he's no trouble at all.
Apparently the victim was mixed up in some kind of political scandal with a man named Radko Perry.
Hey, not the first time a politician and a journalist didn't get along.
So you don't think he's worth talking to?
Radko Perry? A murderer? I don't think so. Worst he can do to someone is get their car towed.
Good thing I don't have a car. Where can I find this guy?
Radko runs his campaign out of an old print shop not far from here. You want to brighten up his day? Be my guest. But that's all you'll be doing by telling him his rival is dead.
I spoke to Daria. She's able to confirm that the suspect is male. Other than that, she's all over the place. I think she's pretty shaken up.
Yeah, well, can't blame her. I would be too. You seem to have made a good impression, though. Ever since you got here, she seems different, calmer. You know, I met my first wife over a crime scene. Let me give you a very important piece of advice, eh? Never marry the ones you save.
Did the killer leave anything behind? Does anything strike you as odd?
I don't know. It's a murder, you know? Doesn't matter if you look at it sideways or upside down. It's never going to look normal.
I found a broken needle stuck in the victim's shoulder. The killer might have drugged Angela before killing her.
Maybe, but keep in mind she was an AUG. Don't you all have to shoot up that new pause shit? Let's go for the obvious before jumping to any wild conclusions.
I'm assuming you know her augments were harvested. The marks on her body make it seem like the killer knew exactly what he was doing, knew exactly what he wanted.
The way you said that just now.
What about it?
The way you described the AUG removal. And before, you mentioned a broken needle in the right shoulder?
That's right.
It reminds me, you know. There was this cop, Smolinski. He used to work in this neighborhood. He had this theory about a copycat. Someone acting just like a dead killer named, Svobotka.
You think there's a connection to another case?
I don't know yet. But I remember him mentioning something about needles and AUG removal. Smolinski died in the police station bombing. Whatever files he had would have been moved into temp storage, across the street from the bombed-out station. Who knows? Maybe it's nothing.
I found a print on Angela's neck, next to the contusion marks. It's a partial, so I don't think we can match it to anything. But at least we know the killer left something, and that she was strangled.
Huh, a fingerprint. I must have missed that one. This is exactly the kind of evidence I'm talking about. No way Johnny could squirm his way out of something like that. If only we could link it to him.
Anything I should know about the scene? Anything jump out at you?
The dismembered body jumps out at me. Keep in mind, I've been behind a desk for the last 12 years. It all jumps out at me.
I have what I need for now. I should go.
That's fine by me. Enjoying yourself, detective.
Let's talk about the case.
All right, so talk.
Something about the crime scene doesn't sit right.
Okay, what about it?
I found what looks like a grenade fragment. EMP by the looks of it. Killer might have used this to incapacitate her.
Interesting. Johnny wouldn't need an EMP to take down his wife. Riot police use EMPs to re-establish public order around here. With all the AUG riots, anti-AUG riots, it wouldn't surprise me if that's all it was. Still, interesting.
I found this piece of glass near the body. A pair of broken glasses, maybe?
I don't know what to tell you. We're in the back alley of a major city. There's bound to be broken glass.
I found this press ID on the victim.
Right, she was a journalist. Hence the scandal with Radko Perry. I still don't consider that proof of anything.
Anything new related to the crime scene?
No, I think we've
I have what I need for now. I should go.
That's fine by me.
Are you Radko Perry?
If this is about that anti-AUG speech I gave, save your indignation, okay? I'm only the voice of the people. I'm only saying what they want to hear. Your problem, it isn't with me. It's with the way this issue is polling.
I'm here about Angela Gunn.
Who?
A journalist. She was found dead in an alley.
Oh, how sad.
But you wouldn't know anything about it.
What? No. But the fact that you could imply such a thing, I am a public figure. But rest assured, my team will look into it. I'll even send the family a gift basket. How does that sound?
You owe the family a little more than that, don't you?
I told you, I had nothing to do with whatever happened. Now, who are you? Why are you really here?
I'm here because I heard Angela found skeletons in your closet.
Well, lucky for me that she's dead then, huh? No, but seriously, what kind of skeletons?
Is that all you care about? She was just murdered. You could show a little more compassion.
Compassion is for the cameras, but hey, maybe you should be the politician. For a second there, I almost believed you care.
Can you tell me where you were tonight?
Out getting vote.
Can anyone attest to that?
Sure. Any number of people. My secretary, my brother, my mother. I just need to call them to remind them they were with me. That's all.
You think this is funny? Someone dies and you flaunt the fact that people will lie for you?
You're going to lock me up for trying to stay positive?
You don't think this is serious?
I think murder is very serious, but the notion that I could be involved in one is not.
So you're not gonna tell me where you really were tonight?
Evidently not.
Your politics are viciously anti-AUG, is that accurate?
Viciously? I like that.
Do you go out of your way to incite violence against AUGs?
I wouldn't call it going out of my way. More like it's on my way. A flower you pick as you pass by. To be honest, my politics aren't even based on an ideology. It's very simple for me. I tell people what they want to hear, and I stay out of jail.
You're not doing a very good job tonight.
I'm doing just fine.
You really hate Augs that much?
Some more than others.
You sure you don't want to rethink your fake alibi?
Where I was tonight is none of your business.
Tell me about your relationship with Angela.
Angela? Angela who?
Angela Gunn, the journalist who's apparently been writing some very insightful articles about you.
Oh, her. She did a nice job of keeping my name in the news. Local politics is a real slog, you know. As long as they're talking about you, it's good.
Even if she was saying things you didn't like?
Sure, why not? Angela's readers were never my voters. I'm not exactly courting the Aug vote here. Did Angela and I share views? No. Did we like each other? Not one bit. But our hatred was professional, not personal. Nothing to kill over.
Sure you don't want to add anything about Angela?
She got what she deserved, but not from me.
I have what I need for now.
Good for you. Did you forget something?
What's your position on Augs?
Officially, I think they are a menace to society.
And unofficially? You're a real big fan of us, aren't you? Some of us, anyway.
My position on Augs is nothing personal, if that's what you mean. Like I said, I am a servant of the people. Their desires are my desires. Their prejudices, my prejudices.
I'm talking about your personal positions. The ones Ivanka has footage of. Apparently you were at an Aug brothel all night. Trying to convince those Aug sisters to vote for you, is that it?
What do you want?
Unlike everyone else you seem to know, I'm not trying to blackmail you. I just want to know who murdered that woman tonight.
Wish I could help you, but as you can see, I was busy with something else, of which there is ample video evidence. You're not going to tell anyone, are you?
Your hypocritical private life isn't my concern right now. I just want to know who was in that alley tonight.
It wasn't me. Now, if you want to keep slinging mud at poor Radko Perry, go right ahead, but as far as I'm concerned, you know I'm not a killer.
Well, that's for me to decide, Radko.
Did you bring anything to drink? You bust into a man's home, you should at least bring a drink.
Are you Johnny Gunn?
That's right. What do you want?
Have you heard about your wife?
Which one?
Excuse me?
I've been married a bunch of times. Which wife are we talking about?
Angela's dead. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. They found her body in an alley.
Yeah, well, you're not the one to tell me, so I appreciate your way of trying to break it to me, though. Do you know if she died quick or not?
No, I don't.
I hope so. Angie didn't deserve to suffer.
So you did know already?
Your detective friend called, told me to sit tight and wait for you, so here I am, sitting tight, being cooperative.
You don't seem too broken up about Angela's death. She was your wife, wasn't she?
Ex-wife. We were divorced.
Is that supposed to explain why you don't care?
People die. Whether or not I care is between me and my memories of them. It's got nothing to do with you.
What went wrong with your marriage? If you got divorced, then obviously something did.
What are you, 5? Adults get sick of each other. The ones that don't are just pretending. Lock any two people in a room, and they'll learn to hate each other sooner or later. It's the most natural thing in the world. I'm actually surprised Angie held out as long as she did. You know, people say I'm not very easy to like.
You don't say. So Angela left you, and you resented her for it.
Resented her? No. That's not who my resentment is directed toward right now.
You resent me? Because I'm trying to figure out who killed her?
Because you're treating me like a suspect. because you're acting like you care more about her than I do. And mostly because you're the first human being to walk into my apartment and talk to me in almost a year. A year! And this is what we're talking about. I resent the situation.
Anything else come to mind about Angela?
At night, her hair used to get in my nose and make it itchy. It was annoying, but nice. Made me feel human.
Where were you tonight?
I was out killing Angie. Doing whatever it is they did to her. That's what you think, isn't it?
I'm not accusing you of anything. I just want to know what happened.
Why? If anyone should want to track down the person who killed her, it should be me. But I choose not to. Case closed.
You don't care if her killer is caught or not?
No, I don't. I don't get off on vengeance. I say, let the bastard stir in his own damn guilt. Men who kill, I think they do it to get attention. They want to be caught. They want society to spank them just like their daddies did. Now, the real punishment for something like this is living with what you've done.
That's not how it works.
Why not?
For one, finding this killer will ensure they can't do it again. 2, society has a right to protect itself. And 3, where were you tonight?
In my apartment. Alone. No one but the cockroaches can confirm or deny shit. Convenient, right?
You sure you didn't go anywhere tonight?
I went to the bathroom. Twice.
Is that a bell tower patch on your jacket?
Yeah, so?
Let's just say I'm familiar with bell tower.
What does that mean? Familiar how?
It doesn't mean anything. It's just that I dealt with the company a while back, that's all.
Really? You know, you look familiar. We didn't work together, did we? Hey, did you know Girardelli? Or maybe Powell?
No, I doubt I knew them personally.
That's too bad. We were all in New South Wales together. I thought maybe you... Never mind. And they're all doing fine now. Relatively.
Australia. You were there during the Civil War?
That's right. And that was only the beginning. Not my first choice, believe me, but, Bell Tower wasn't all that big on choice. Send you where they want, make you do what they want, replace parts of you whenever and however they want.
I didn't choose to be augmented either. Not when it first happened.
Apparently we're supposed to be grateful. Alloy's so much better than skin, right? At least, that's how they sold it to me.
For some things it is. Not for everything.
I can walk through fire, but sand won't stick between my toes. I can shove a knife through my hand, but I can't trust what I feel. Even my dreams are made of alloy.
Both of your hands are made of alloy?
Fingers are for human beings, Mr. Gunn. What you have is so much greater.
And then they told me what they wanted me to do, and what would happen to me if I didn't. Well, let me tell you something. That's not me anymore. Hasn't been for a very long time.
They found a partial print on Angela's neck. Belongs to whoever strangled her.
My hands were designed to kill in wars no one's ever heard of. I couldn't leave a trace on someone's skin, even if I wanted to.
They did it so you can kill better.
So I'd never get caught. Ironic, right? Being a good killer is probably what saves me here. Or, you still think I killed Angela?
I'm sorry for what Bell Tower did to you.
Don't be. They gave me tools they wanted me to have. That it was in their interest for me to have. But the decision to use them, that was all me. Now, if you don't mind, I'd very much like to be left alone.
I just came from the Udalek complex, Felice. Golem City. Those people haven't been relocated. They've been detained. And they're running out of supplies, of space, of hope.
I told you. We cannot control how the government handles Utalek. I was not even permitted to recruit there. If I did, I'd fill my quota in 30 minutes.
Shipping everyone to Rabia doesn't mean things would go differently. Augs are being dehumanized. You don't fix that with eco-friendly architecture.
There are two problems with Utalek. A construction problem and an ideological one. Mr. Brown learned from past mistakes, and now we have checks and balances in place to screen out the undesirable elements.
Checks and balances? What I saw in Golem City goes deeper than security screening.
Really? Then what do you think the problems are?
The real problem is a militarized police force who see the people they're supposed to protect as threats. There's no common ground, no oversight, no accountability.
Rabia will be policed by Santo's own security services. They are augmented like us, and since Rabia is a corporate state, they have a vested interest in the city. It is part of the new city vision.
Corporate security answers to the corporation. It's in the name. If the new city vision starts eating into Santo's bottom line, how long before they're pulled out?
Mr. Brown, Santo has invested too much into Rabia for it to fail. It has to succeed, not just for the augmented, but for the future.
I hope it pays off.
By the way, I told Daria to go home. I really don't think she saw anything.
I think I'm finally ready to shed some light on Angela Gunn's murder.
That's good news. My bosses are eager to know why I haven't arrested Johnny yet.
The truth is, we're not even close. Not yet.
Why do you say that? What about Johnny? The more I think about all this, the more I can't shake the feeling. Johnny Gunn killed his wife.
This was the work of a harvester copycat. This isn't some domestic dispute gone horribly wrong. It's part of something bigger. Someone's out there pretending to be a dead serial killer.
I see you looked into that old case I pointed you toward.
The MO is a perfect match. I read the notes and I compared them to this murder. The two victims were killed by the same person, I'm sure of it.
All right. Let's say that's true. That doesn't necessarily exclude Johnny. It just means he's killed more than one person.
Look, I'm just telling you what I found. For a while I thought it might be Radko Perry, that maybe he was behind all of this. But that wasn't right either.
What makes you so sure?
I pretended to be Radko during a text messaging conversation. Turns out he rented himself a couple of augmented girlfriends the night of the murder. He was with them the whole time. They got video that proves it, and they're using it to blackmail him.
The less I know about Radko's personal life, the better. What I meant was, what makes you so sure it can't be Johnny?
Remember that partial print I found on the victim's throat?
What about it?
Johnny Gunn hasn't had fingerprints since the Australian Civil War. His hands are made of alloy. If he had strangled her, he wouldn't have left a smudge.
Alloy, huh? Shit. So, where does that leave us exactly?
We followed the evidence we had. This is where it led us.
You mean nowhere?
I'm not sure exactly. I think a lot of the pieces are there. They're just not ready to be put together. Not yet.
All right. That should be enough for me to get the rope off Johnny's neck. But it doesn't help me solve anything, does it? I mean, unless we learn more, there's no one I can drag in for this.
Let's just hope learning more doesn't mean having to meet over another dead body.